Hello, I'm Clark. I'm from Vancouver. I'm very happy to be here. I've had a very amazing journey. My first time to Bodhi was April of 2017. Not knowing anything a lot about Bodhi, I was brought by a friend who had told me about some of the healings that were happening to them and to other people. So I decided to come down to the first 8.5-day retreat so I could see with my own eyes. And when I walked through the doors in Vancouver there, I was overwhelmed by the energy that I felt coming through the door, and the love and compassion from everybody was just amazing. At that time, when I walked through the doors, I kind of walked in like this. My lower back was very bad for 40 years, and then I also had my hand on my stomach as I'd walk in a lot of pain. Every day of my life, on a scale of 1 to 10, my back pain was a 7. So when I did come through the doors, I wasn't really expecting anything for myself. I just wanted to see what was happening and everything. And within a couple days, things started changing. I was feeling a little happier. Some of the pain was slowly going away. The first few days, I was barely able to stand for one GI because the pain was too much. So I think it was around day 5 of that first retreat. I think we were in the second GI, and I had really severe pain to the point of I had to go to the side and lay down because it was just too much pain. So as I laid down on the cushions, with my eyes closed, I said to myself, Amita, 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 Master Jin Bodhi, please help heal my L1 and L2 lower discs in my back and a center one in my back that they told me I should have gotten fused 10 years prior.
Okay.
So as I laid there, 10 seconds later, I could feel fingers. As I laid on my back, I could feel fingers working on my back. Then I think it was probably about 10 minutes later, the GI was over, and we were asked to stand up. So then I turned to my side and just stood up and had no pain. Now since that day, I've been standing straight up, and I haven't had pain anymore. So for over a year, the pain is gone. For 2 months before I came to the retreat in April, I had the feeling that I was going to have to get a hernia operation. I'm not a fan of hospitals. I'm not a fan of doctors. I thought, no. So after that 8.5-day retreat, the hernia disappeared. I had many healings in that first retreat. I also had a lump, probably about this big, in this lymph node for 35 years. So after that 8.5-day retreat, that also vanished. I've had so many different healings. So after that first retreat, I have done so much more at Bodhi. Every time I go to an 8.5-day retreat, I go as a group leader to try and help everybody else, which is amazing because then you can see their transformation day by day and you can be part of it, which is just amazing. Well, for most of my life, I guess because my feet sweat a fair amount and wearing runners, they'd get kind of, whoo. I go to people's houses, they say, take your shoes off. I say, no. So at the March retreat, the intensive retreat we had in Vancouver was what I used to do is I'd use antiperspirant on my feet, then they wouldn't stink. But Since the retreat in March, the intensive retreat in Vancouver, I stopped doing that. This retreat, this gets a little interesting because on Friday, not the Friday that just passed, the Friday before flying to Toronto, I was at work and I was doing, my work is I install camera systems, alarm systems, card access, all that kind of stuff. I'm in security. So I was up on top of a ladder about just over 8 meters, 25 feet up, and the ladder fell. So when the ladder fell, of course, I fell after the ladder, landing on top of the ladder on the concrete below. So I stood up with amazement because for the distance that I fell, I stood up with amazement in my mind and looked at what had happened, picked up my ladder, put it back up. But I realized why I wasn't hurt. I had my MasterCard with me. I know he kept me safe with that. It was in my back pocket, inside my phone case. And it saved me, he protected me. I have fallen before, even off of just 5 feet, and landed and cracked 3 ribs and wasn't able to work for 3 days. Here I fell over 8 meters, not even a bruise, a scratch, nothing. All because of my MasterCard. So what I have to say there is it is very important to keep your MasterCard with you. And the best part is there's no annual fee. I'm eternally grateful to Master Jin Bodhi and my whole Bodhi family just for the love, the compassion, and everything that I've learned. Now, myself, for us in Vancouver, Vancouver, BC, Canada, as far as I'm concerned, BC is not British Columbia, it's Bodhi community. Thank you all, and I love you all.